Hi future Yotes, my name is Meg Osterhout and I'm a senior here at the College of Idaho and I'm going to be your personal tour guide today. I'm an elementary education major with Spanish and human performance minors. Pretty much any other Yote you talk to on campus will have one major and 3 minors, but because of the way that my major works out, I'm left with 1 minor, but I added another one just for fun because we can do that here. I'm the senior lead ambassador and I'm so excited for this virtual tour. So let's go take a look at campus. So what we're exiting out of right now is Hendren Hall. Many students begin their journey here as Yotes with the Visit Center in their tour, like what you're doing right now, as well as the admission counselor offices. In the back, we have the Peak Center, because getting 1 major and 3 minors in the 4 years can seem a little overwhelming at first, but they're there to sit down with you and help you map everything out so that you can graduate on time or when you desire to do so. In Hendren Hall, we also have the business office. We have residence life offices, as well as the Center for Experiential Learning. So when you want to set up internships or find future jobs for after college, they help you with that. We have the Learning Support Service Center. So if you need any testing or classroom accommodations, they kind of help middleman the communication between yourself and your professors. I call Hendren Hall the heart of campus because it helps everything run and makes everything function. And whenever you need help or you're confused about something, just go in there and someone will be able to help you. So back here on the side of Hendren Hall, we have campus safety. Not to be confused with campus security. Campus safety is here to keep us safe, not get us in trouble. They're here for anything and everything you could imagine. If your car battery dies, they'll jump it for you. If you lock yourself out of your dorm and your RA is not available to help you back in, campus safety can come and help you. If you don't want to walk across campus at night or you're cold and you don't want to walk, you want to ride, they'll do that for you. One of my favorite personal stories with campus safety was when I was studying really late in the library one night. And it was really cold outside, so I didn't want to walk back all by myself. I called up campus safety and they came and picked me up. When I got into the car, the officer said, "Have you eaten dinner?" I said no. He goes, "Well, let's go get you something." And before I could say anything else, he took me down to Taco Bell right down the road and got me dinner, and then he took me back to my dorm, made sure I was safe. Not an uncommon story for campus safety. They become our best friends and really our heroes. They're here 365 days a year, 24 hours a day. And like I said, anything and everything you could ever imagine they're here for. Here we have Blachley Hall. This was the first building on campus before campus was campus, if that makes any sense at all. Our institution was getting established a year before Idaho became a state, so we like to say that we were Idaho before it was cool. I'll talk more about the development of the college later on, but what you need to know about Blachley is Carrie Blachley and her family lived here, and they donated this house along with the first 20 acres to begin the college. For many years, the presidents of the college lived in this house, but eventually became more of a campus function house rather than an actual house. If you ever get the opportunity to go inside, it's still very much set up like a house, which is really cozy feeling if you need that home environment to read for one of your classes. Up top, special events offices are up there, so if you need to rent a space on campus or bigger events like the Scholarship Gala, they help plan. In the basement is where speech and debate team meet for their practices or when they're prepping for their meets. In the early 2000s, the Rosenthal Art Gallery was added to the back of Blachley Hall. So if you're an art major or minor, or you just took art as an exploratory credit, they do an exhibit at the end of every year, and community members, faculty, staff, students, alum, all get involved, and students can actually auction off their work. I have a friend that graduated a few years ago, double majored in business and art, and he was able to auction off his work for $4,000, just a pocket right out of college. Of course, it doesn't happen for all students, but it's a great opportunity. I am not well versed in the arts, but I do like to plug that in for anybody who is. I hope that everybody watching is familiar with the Albertsons company. If you're not, you will get to know it once you become a Yote because there's a store right across the way, but Joe Albertson is the man who started the corporation. And Joe and Katherine Albertson actually attended the College of Idaho. They met here, they fell in love here, and they're married on campus by our founder, William Judson Boone. They've done so much for our college that at one point in time, the college's name was changed to the Albertsons College of Idaho. After Joe passed away and Katherine was a widow, she said, "You know what? I went to the College of Idaho, I fell in love at the College of Idaho, I want to be called the College of Idaho." So she actually helped pay for the title of the college to be reverted back to the College of Idaho from her last name, which is really humble of her. But like I said, they do so much for our campus and they will continue to forever and ever, amen, that we do like to honor them everywhere we can on campus. So right behind me, we have the J.A. Albertson Activity Center. We're gonna go ahead and take a look inside. So back here at the J.A. Albertson Activity Center, that is a mouthful, so we have nicknamed it Jake. So over here in Jake, we have our swimming pool for our swim and dive team. But not to worry, there are open swim hours for students. And actually we did a program in there that some of the RAs put together where we watched Jaws while sitting in floaties in the pool, which is a really fun experience, and we do stuff like that all the time. So in here in Jake, we have lots of fun things. We have a rock climbing wall, and there's open climb hours available to students, or you can take rock climbing for credits towards your degree. Behind me, we have the basketball court where the basketball team and volleyball teams compete. Our men's basketball team actually finished first in the nation, which is super exciting. Upstairs, we have human performance professors' offices as well as some coaches. In the basement, we have a weight room, we have athletic training offices, and some other various things. One of my favorite nights here in Jake is Alumni Night. It's during the basketball season, early in the season. One side of the gym will be filled with alum, the other side filled with students. We have a council here at the college made up of 4 students called Program Council, and they get the sizable budget every year, and their main job is to make swag for us, put on events, and at Alumni Night, a couple years ago they brought in Chick-fil-A sandwiches, last year we got t-shirts, and I think my freshman year they brought in a bunch of pizza. So they're always doing fun things to bring the community together. Here at the college, we have a 3-year on-campus living requirement. That being said, we have lots of different living options. Over to my left, we have the Anderson Dorm Hall. For many years, it served as the honors dorm. The typical Andersonian, as they call themselves, if they begin their freshman year here at the college in Anderson, they often live in Anderson throughout all 4 years because they love it. Andersonians are known for being very studious. It's a very nice, quiet place to live and has a lot of character. So as we have Jake over here on my right, which we just went into, we have Cake over here on our left, the Katherine Albertson International Center. The idea is Jake and Cake face each other as Joan Katherine Albertson once did when they're getting married on campus. So kind of a cute little love story that we like to uphold. Cake is the home of the business and accounting departments as well as the modern foreign languages such as Spanish and French. By that I mean professors have their offices and most of the classes are held in there. That being said, it's not exclusively those classes held in there. I've had a lot of psychology classes in Cake. Upstairs we have the Shannon Library, which is a really great study area. It is not a library, don't be confused by the name, but it is a great study area with many tables, there's a computer lab, and lots of other resources for us as Yotes. Behind me we have Simplot Dining Hall as well as the Simplot Dorms, arguably one of the most important buildings on campus. We're catered by a company called Bon Appetit, and we're definitely very spoiled as Yotes. We're ranked first in the state for food on college campus, and it definitely shows. If you ever get the opportunity to come personally visit to campus, we're happy to treat you and your additional guests to lunch. Every day in the CAF, we have options to choose from the grill, the pizza bar, sandwich station, ice cream bar, dessert bar, salad bar, anything you could ever imagine. We never go hungry and we're never disappointed with the food. I have a friend that's allergic to every food under the sun you could ever imagine, but they always have sesame seedless buns for her behind the grill, or if there's something in the global food section that's made with an ingredient that she can't have, they'll make it to order for her so she can eat it. 10% of our students on campus are international. We represent over 89 different countries. So with the global food section here in the Simplot Dining Hall, we're able to try food from their home. If they're feeling homesick, they can submit a recipe, and it's a really great way to bring us all together. Over here we have the Finney Dorm Hall, the most recently renovated dorm building on campus. It's now suite style. So like I mentioned earlier, we have a 3-year on-campus living requirement, but with options like Finney, it's really great and you get those independent living styles. So Finney was renovated to become suite style. So there's 2- and 3-person suites. The typical suite has individual bedrooms, you share a common area and a little kitchenette, a little bathroom, sink, mirror area, and a bathroom. So like I said, really great step up into independent living while still being very much centrally located on campus and being right next door to the CAF. Here we're at Turtling Library. Don't let that fool you, it is no longer our library. Our first ever library was in Strayhorn Hall, which we'll walk by later. But Turtling Library doesn't currently have a use since we got our new library in January of 2018, and we'll go inside there in a little bit. But like I said, it doesn't currently have a use, but what they've been doing is training police dogs in there, holding some meetings. I voted for an ice skating rink to get put in there, but I don't think that's gonna happen. So don't hold your breath, but you can advocate for that when you become a student here if you want to. We've arrived at my favorite building on campus, Starry Hall. Starry was the first building on campus for the intention to campus. So Blachley was here, but the president was going to live here. This was going to be the first real building for the institution. Like I said earlier, this college was getting established a year before Idaho became a state. So the boulevard wasn't here quite yet, the railroads hadn't extended this far quite yet, so they didn't know if they were going to extend campus this way or that way from Starry Hall. They just knew they wanted it to be the main focal point. So what they did is they built it identical on both sides. So it looks exactly on the other side as it does this one, which I thought was really neat and forward-thinking. Today, Starry serves as an administrative building. Up top, on the 4th floor, we have our co-presidents, Jim Everett and Doug Brigham's office. We have the only current and successful co-presidency in the nation, and it's been really special to watch pan out, and it's been amazing so far. We have human resources in this building. We have archives, so some of the history of the school. Psychology professors, as well as environmental studies professors have their offices in this building. And all around, just a great building. There's a lot of boardrooms, there's great places to study, and just one of my favorites, so I'm biased. Behind me, we have the Cruzen Murray Library, named after Debbie Cruzen Murray, the woman who left her entire estate to the College of Idaho for this library to be built. She was really into architecture and interior design, so she actually helped in the making of the blueprints of this building. Unfortunately, she did not get to live to see the final product, but the builder stayed within her vision. I can't stress this enough that Debbie Cruzen Murray nor her husband Richard Murray actually attended the College of Idaho. They were both on the board of trustees, and they were just very passionate about the Yote fam. This library opened in January of 2018, and I can't prove it with cold, hard evidence right now, but I'm very confident in saying that ever since this library has opened, the overall campus GPA has absolutely skyrocketed because we love being in here, and if you're in here long enough, you're going to get something done. So we're going to go take a look at some of my favorite features about the library. Debbie Cruzen Murray was a very humble lady and didn't want to disclose how much her estate was worth. But some very unique features about the library include these windows. They don't make that cut and fiberware in the States, so each one of those are imported from Ireland. The oxidized looking panels on the outside of the library that you see, those are angled to give maximum and optimal lighting throughout the day based on where the sun is. One of my favorite features about this library include the 24-hour study rooms that are in the basement. So when this top part closes at midnight, I can go down there and stay as long as I need until I get my homework done. We're on the 2nd floor of the Cruzen Murray Library. Some of my other favorite features about the library include the cafe. So if you need to take a study break and get a coffee, tea, water, a snack, you can do so without having to leave the library altogether, as well as the study rooms. In the study rooms are big TV monitors where you can do study sessions with your friends, and the most important part are the walls. They're whiteboard from ceiling to floor, so you can just write all over it, do a study session with your friends, and not worry about running out of space to write. Over here, we have the Heyman dorm building. It's exclusively for all freshmen. Our college is really unique in that all the freshmen move in about 2 to 3 days before the rest of campus. They get unpacked, get settled. Before anything else happens, we bus everybody up to McCall, which is about 2.5 hours north into the mountains. And we stay at a really nice camp, and we do bonding activities with our floor and just set our college experience off on a really positive note. Some of the relationships I built on the McCall trip are still friendships I have today and will have for the rest of my life. Outside of Heyman, we have the volleyball court area, which is a lot of fun, especially when it's warm out. We'll have volleyball tournaments, badminton tournaments, you name it, we do it. Over here, we have Voorhees. So this is a great option for maybe after freshman year. So Heyman and some of the other dorms on campus are your typical single, double, triple rooms, mostly double rooms where you have a roommate and the communal bathroom set up. There's a kitchen in every dorm building, laundry facility, which is free for students, which is really awesome. You just have to bring your own soap and your own laundry, obviously. And there's a garage area, so if you have a bike on campus but you don't want to leave it outside, you can put it down there. Over here in Voorhees, this was also very recently renovated back in 2017. This is a great option after freshman year maybe. It's a typical double room setup, but on every floor there's 6 or 7 bathroom, what I call pods. So when you go in there to yourself, you have the shower, sink, toilet, mirror, really great little extra privacy. I say that you have to do the communal bathroom setup at least once because I made some great friends while brushing my teeth freshman year. Behind me we have Royce Hall, home of performing and fine arts. So So things like choir, theater, band, orchestra, painting, drawing, ceramics, photography, everything I wish I was good at goes on in this building. There's a couple theaters for performing arts, for theater, but also music concerts, choir concerts, really beautiful building, and we're gonna go ahead and take a look inside. So Royce is obviously a very beautiful area. If you ever get the opportunity to attend our in-person events once the pandemic is over, definitely do so, and this is where we meet. Every semester, my friends and I get together and we'll play a game of sardines or two throughout the semester. Really fun. It is open 24 hours, so if you're an art student and you need some extra time to work on those projects, this is your building. Here we're in Marty Hawley, our newer athletic facility that opened in 2014 and named after one of our beloved coaches and staff members, Marty Hawley. Here at the college, we're student athletes, meaning we're students first. One of my friends originally went to a really big university on a full-ride scholarship for football. Early into the school year, his coaches sat him down and they said, you know, we're giving you a full-ride scholarship. We really expect you to invest your time and energy into our football program. That being said, you can major in A, B, or C. And he said, you know, that's not gonna work for me because pre-med is my dream, but football's my passion. What do I do? So he transferred here to the college and just graduated a couple of years ago, pre-med and on the football team, and is currently in medical school. Even though this athletic facility implies that it's for all student athletes, not to worry because all students are available to have access to this as well. Here's our student union building, Mccain. As Yotes, we're in here 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 times a day, whether it be to get a bite to eat, study, check our mailbox, meet with a faculty member. You get the idea. We love Mccain. So Mccain was actually our first basketball gymnasium. You can tell by the floor, still the original flooring. Really neat story. So in Mccain, like I said, student union building, we're gonna grab a bite to eat, we're gonna study, we're gonna play games, we're gonna hang out, we're always in Mccain. Upstairs we have student leadership and as well as student services. So we have the Academic Support Center, so those are student tutors. We have the International Student Organization up here, the campus ministries, Senate chambers where Student Senate meets, and various other clubs and organizations that meet upstairs in Mccain. On the main level we have a food service, also catered by Bon Appetit. We have a den that has pre-made sandwiches, salads, other snacks if you just need to grab and go in between classes. We have a little game room with ping pong, shuffleboard, foosball, anything you could name. In the basement, we have our mail center, as well as outdoor program, which is super unique to this college. So they're always offering opportunities to go ski, raft, hike, snowboard, anything you could imagine. Our ongoing joke is we're never really on campus because we're always doing stuff with the outdoor program and we're getting involved in the community. So here's the food service, Bon Appetit, as well as our college store. So next time when you're on campus, make sure to stop in and get yourself some Yote swag. So over to my left, we have the softball field, really fun for intramural sports. Next to the softball field is Sims Field, where we might do intramural practices and that type of thing. At the end of every school year, in May, after finals are done, we do a big slip and slide down Sims Field, which is a lot of fun. Behind me, we have the Village Apartments, but we've nicknamed them Mustard and Ketchup for obvious reasons. This is more reserved for seniors, more upperclassmen living, and they are apartments. So Mustard is 2-people apartments. They have their own bedrooms, they share a bathroom, kitchen, living room, laundry room, all that good stuff. And Ketchup is the same, but 4 people, so 4 bedrooms, and they share 2 bathrooms. Like I said, we do have a 3-year on-campus living requirement, but with options like these, you really get that step up in independent living while still living on campus. So this past year, we brought in the biggest class in the history of the College of Idaho, which is so exciting, but also needing some more housing on campus. So with that, we got in touch with a company called Indie Dwell, and right behind me you see the construction. We're actually building modular housing made out of shipping containers. It's really sustainable housing, and there's gonna be 5-person units with a bathroom, and they're gonna be really great, and I'm really excited to see the final product. Here we have Covell. This is where I spend most of my time because it's where the head of the education department resides. It's a 24-hour building and there's also a computer lab in there. So if you need to print something at 3 a.m. that you just remembered, you can go on and do it. We also have IT here in this building, and let me tell you, they have saved my bacon more times than I can count. And many times, IT will stay here way past closing just to help you out. Personally, one time I needed help with my laptop, and Alan stayed 5 hours past closing for me to help me out, and it didn't cost me anything, and my laptop is still working better than it ever has. He's magical, and the IT department is amazing. When they dug up the swimming pool for Jake, they put the dirt in here to make our beautiful amphitheater. These pillars have a really great story behind them. One of our faculty members had them in his garage, and when this amphitheater was built, he donated them to make a great accent piece for the amphitheater. You'll often see families doing portraits in here, student organizations doing pictures in here, hanging out. Program council I talked about in the beginning of the tour. A couple times every year we'll get a big blow-up movie screen and we'll circle around with pillows and blankets and watch a movie. Here we have Boone Hall, named after our founder William Judson Boone, who I'll talk more about later on. But in Boone we have our math and science department, so any chemistry, biology, physics, geometry, any class you take will be here in Boone. In the basement we have the Natural History Museum, which is accessible to all members of the community and really interesting. If you ever get the time when campus is back open, please stop by. And I like to bring all students into Boone because our biggest lecture hall on campus is in here, and it's very underwhelming in size. With our 9-to-1 student to professor ratio, we definitely get those one-on-one interactions that are so special and truly you wouldn't get anywhere else. Behind me we have Jewett Auditorium, and exactly what you think, it's our auditorium. Attached we have the Jewett Chapel because we are founded upon Presbyterian principles. However, those aren't still enforced by any means. It's welcome to anybody for whatever purpose you want to use it for. If you need a quiet place to read a book, you want to observe any religion, you want to go play the piano, you're more than welcome to do so. Behind me is Strayhorn Hall. This building is for political economy, international political economy, English literature, anthropology, sociology, religious studies, and I hope I got them all, but it's a great multi-purpose building. And I love talking about Strayhorn because if you all remember Blachley at the beginning, where Carrie Blachley lived. Well, Carrie Blachley and Carrie Strayhorn came out west here together, and this is where Carrie Strayhorn and her family pitched their tents. And where the Carey said, this is where we want a great institution for our children to come. We want this to be the Yale of the West. Well, it's the early 1800s, how much can women do on their own? So they get in touch with Dr. Reverend William Judson Boone back east, and they said, hey, during all this westward expansion, we found all this great land and all these people eager for you to come out here and establish a parish, which if you're not familiar with what a parish is, it's like a church-school combination. And he goes, well, I can't pass up that opportunity. He'd only been married for 2 weeks, but him and his wife packed everything up and came out here on the train. When he got out here, he met up with the Careys, and the Careys admitted. They said, you know, we weren't totally honest. We wanted to get you out here so you could help us establish the Yale of the West. There's already a parish a couple blocks that way, but please consider doing this for us. And he says, absolutely not. And for the first time during this whole journey, his wife speaks up and says, William Judson Boone, if you make me get back on that train all the way back to the East Coast, this will be the shortest lived marriage in history. I can promise you that. And thus, the College of Idaho was born, and we're so thankful for William Judson Boone and his efforts. From that moment on, he was the president for 45 years. You could see him out here doing gardening work. His real passion was botany. He taught classes, he did janitorial work, he did his presidential duties and everything in between. The humblest guy, and we're forever thankful for his contribution to the college and making this Yale of the West dream possible. He said, let them come, let them all come, and we will see what they can do. This will be the Yale of the West. So here is the Morrison Quadrangle, definitely the central hangout for campus. As we nickname everything, we call it the Quad. When it's warm out and school's in session, you'll always see students doing frisbee, reading out here, doing homework. There might be a barbecue, a bonfire, those hammocks that are all the rage right now hung up in the trees. It's just a great place to be, and it brings so much joy to all of us. And that concludes our tour, our 55 acres of pure bliss, kind of our private oasis in a way. And this is the point in the tour where I talk about why I personally chose the College of Idaho. And I'm always honest in saying this is the best decision I could have ever made for myself. But I'm also always honest in saying this is not where I was going to come. My older brother came here and he's just done a lot of amazing things, but I wanted my college decision to be completely separate, my own thing, my own journey, my own path. My parents humored me and took me to tour a lot of different colleges, and I humored them and I came and I visited here. And as hard as I tried not to, I absolutely fell in love with the PEAK program, the small student to professor ratio, the campus, and most importantly, the community. I want to leave you with this. When you're picking a college, you don't pick it for the campus, you pick it for the community. Ever since this COVID outbreak and campus has been closed, every single one of my professors that I currently have individually reached out to me just to check in. Every staff member I've ever worked with or not worked with have reached out to check on me. The very first time I missed class freshman year, my professor texted me and asked me where I was at. And I promise you these are not uncommon stories. But just remember that it's not about the campus, it's about the community. And there's no community I would rather be a part of. And I hope that my little brother will too join the Yote fam soon.